Please listen to the legal disclaimer at the end of this video. Good afternoon, this is Boiler. I'm talking to you from the messy bunker in Colorado. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about federal and state laws and how they relate, and a little trick that you can play when you're dealing with Fair Debt Collection Practices Act and the state equivalent of it. And I'm going to talk about the law in Colorado, but it really could just be the law in any state if it's similar. I think it's just a concept that I want for you to get. So what happens is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, most states have a mirror of it as a state law. So in Colorado, where I am, I'll call it the Colorado Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, or the FDCPA. So if you read the Colorado version, or in your case your state law, it usually says something about something to the effect of you can't double up. So if you sue for something and you use the federal FDCPA, you can't also stack that on top of the state law. So for example, say you have a violation where they didn't have the right amount. So the character and amount of the debt was wrong. So that's the one you want to use in the federal one. And then you can't use that same cause of action in the second one. So what you do is, normally when you look at violations by a collector, there's more than one. If you only have one, it better be rock solid if you're going to go to court over it. But think about it. Say you have four violations, and let's just call them violation 1, 2, 3, and 4, and say you have those in order of how strong they are. Say 1 is absolutely rock solid, and 4 is kind of iffy. It's a violation, but there's some question to it. So what I would do is I would take the violation number 1 that's rock solid, and I would put it under the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the FDCPA. I would take hold up my middle finger. This one, I would take this one, the second one, and I would put that under the state law, so that you're not actually mirroring each other. There's separate violations for the federal one and separate violations for the state one. So just a thought on how to approach that. So that way that you can double up, and usually a violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act is $1,000, and then depending on your state, but in most states it's another $1,000 for a state. So you've really just doubled the amount of damages that you can go after. So anyhow, that was just a philosophy or an approach that I wanted to share with you. It just came up this weekend for me. I've been working with a friend of mine, and that came up, and he asked me the questions. Apologize for I think my podcast or my video cast, I'm really just gonna sit up and say what I'm thinking, and I'm not gonna have some kind of agenda, or I'm not gonna hold up a piece of paper and talk to you about all these bullet points. I'm not gonna do that. That's not the plan right now. I'll either just get up and talk like I am now, or I'll have a PowerPoint and I'll walk through them. So anyhow, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My email address is boiler@notlegaladvice.org. My website is notlegaladvice.org. Thanks. Any comments or questions, let me know. Thanks. Bye. This is the legal disclaimer. While the information on this site deals with legal issues, it does not constitute legal advice. The materials in this video and related websites are provided for informational purposes only and do not constitute legal advice. We do not advise on the application of law to an individual's specific circumstances. Although we go to great lengths to make sure our information is accurate and useful, we recommend you consult a lawyer if you want professional assurance that our information and your interpretation of it is appropriate to your particular situation. There are no lawyers in this video or on the notlegaladvice.org family of websites. The contact information for this video is notlegaladvice.org, that is the main blog, nlapublishing.org, that is the main book site, The email address is boiler@notlegaladvice.org. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email me. I'd love to hear from you.